Hey everybody, it's Nathaniel Rutherford from Rocky Top Insider again. We're here at the beautiful lot of Toyota Knoxville to have another VFL Ride Along Series, our second one. Today, I'm joined by Fred White, former national championship winning defensive back here from Tennessee. Let's go hop into this Toyota Sequoia over here. Let's get it on over.
Let's go.
Once again, big thank you to Toyota Knoxville for providing us with the Sequoia here. It's a great car. It's really smooth driving on the road here. Great air conditioning. Got safety sense, so if, heaven forbid, I'm driving here and something happens, we'll be safe because it has all kinds of awesome safety features here. Fred, you've played, in Tennessee Vols. You played some of the best eras in Tennessee Vol history. You played 1998 National Championship team from 95 to 99, so you get to play with greats like Peyton Manning, Al Wilson, Deion Grant, Terry Fair. What was it like to play in that national championship game over in Arizona? What was it like to play for the national title?
It was amazing. It was everything we thought it would be. I mean, it was even more special for us because no one expected for us to get there. We started the season off at number 17, and we felt like we were disrespected, And a lot of people felt like we weren't capable of winning the national championship. But getting there, playing in that game, and walking away with the victory, there's no feeling to describe that. That's one of the best days of my life.
Yeah, I can imagine that it's something that you really can't put into words, just going over there and winning the championship. And as you said, you guys weren't expected to, do all that year. You were just lost Peyton Manning, you had a new quarterback, still, of course, a very stacked defense. But yeah that's what was it like having those expectations, coming back from with Peyton Manning leaving and having a whole new kind of quarterback at the helm there? What was it like to go out and defy expectations and prove everybody wrong?
I mean, everybody thought about the fact that we lost Peyton, but we lost 16 seniors. You lost your best receiver, Marcus Nash. You lost Andy McCullough, who also played in the NFL as a receiver. You lost your entire secondary minus Dwayne Goodrich. I mean, and all those guys went to the NFL. So you're looking at a group of guys who we've been chomping at the bits for years to get on the football field. And there was a lot of expectations. But the one thing that we did back then, and I don't know if they do the same thing now, but one thing we did back then was that the guy who was leaving, his senior year, his job was to make sure the guy behind him was ready to step in and take over when he left. And those guys did a really good job of that. Torrey Noel and Corey Gaines, those guys gave us the reins, man. And Deion and those guys, we tried to go out and make them proud. And it was a great thing. It felt like, hey, this is our time. Let's do it.
What are you doing? What are you up to now, Fred? You obviously haven't played since 1999. You've been around Knoxville though for a while. What have you been up to in the meantime since you've graduated from Tennessee?
Well, I got a chance to play in the NFL for a couple of years, and that was tough. I was on the practice squad mainly, but I got a chance to live my dream. And since then, I've had a career in sales. Currently, I'm the director of sales at Volunteer Pharmacy here in Knoxville, and I do some sports talk radio and TV. I'm on with Jason Swain on Fridays, the Swain event on 1180, and I'm also on the locker room with Mark Packer and those guys on Channel 8 here in Knoxville. So
you still hang around, you still watch Tennessee. What do you make of this team right now? It's been a couple weeks into the season. What do you make of the team in the 2017 Vols right now? What do you think about this team?
It's kind of tough to put a finger on it, but they don't necessarily have an identity at the moment. But I can understand we played two teams with very different conventional styles of offense. Well, two different styles of offense. One that's a option team, and the other one, I couldn't really tell you what that offense was called. But a lot of multiple sets and so those type of things. So it's been hard to kind of figure out what we are yet because we haven't played a team that's kind of traditional or conventional. But the one thing I can say is that our guys are very resilient. They haven't given up in any game. And if I would have told you that we were playing against Georgia Tech and they won the time of possession 41 minutes to 18 minutes and gave up 535 yards of rushing offense, you would tell me that Tennessee lost. Well, they won that game. It tells you how resilient those guys are and that they won't give up.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, a lot of the guys you played with, and I've gone on to, be very, very good, college players and pro players as well. You played with the guys like Jamal Lewis in the roster, as I mentioned, Peyton Manning, T. Martin, Deion Grant, and a lot of those guys. Do you still keep up with a lot of the former players that you played with back in the 90s?
Man, I keep up with all the guys I played with back in the 90s. We're all still family, man. We still talk to each other. We still all hang out. in Atlanta, it was a who's who, you know, at our tailgate, you know. All the guys hanging out together, Deion Grant, Dwayne Goodrich, Deron Jenkins, and Joey Kent, man. Everybody comes together, we all hang out together, man. It's something that, we built something special on the hill over there at UT, man. And we try to keep it together as much as we possibly can. Like, you know, the kids call each other, you know, call everybody Uncle Fred or Uncle Al or Uncle Dion. So it's more than just a teammate. It's a family, it's a brotherhood, and that's something that'll never go away.
Once again, as we're driving down here, driving here at Knoxville here, a big thank you once again to Toyota Knoxville. Go visit them, they're on Parkside Drive. This is a very nice car, like I said, smooth. I don't know if you all heard earlier, it beeped at me. I was swaying a little bit, so the safety sense obviously works. It's got a really nice display here on the dash with the LED system here. Really good gas mileage for, you know, definitely being an SUV like it is. Go check them out. Like I said, Parkside Drive is where Toyota is stationed. Go check them out today. We really are very thankful for them to help us do this VFL Ride Along Series. So Fred, we talked a little about the Vols, and just, you know, since you've played, Tennessee hasn't, you know, had a great run of things for the most part. You had the early 2000s where things were still going pretty well. Full former, you know, led them to a couple of SEC East titles and got to the championship game a couple times. But it's been a rough go of things. How has it been watching that transition from, you know, where you guys won national championship, you're competing for titles every single year, to what it was, especially, you know, in the Derek Dooley era, where it was, you know, Tennessee's 5-7 every single year when he was here, just about.
You know, it was tough. I mean, it was every guy that I played with, we all love our university, and we know what it felt like to win, you know, and we felt like we were trying to figure out what was going on, what happened, how did we get to this point. I mean, I did see other teams get to that point at some point. Alabama went to that point at one point. Florida got to that point at one point. But our whole goal was trying to figure out how we can help our university get back. And it was tough watching it. I think we're on the rise now. We're getting better recruiting classes, putting guys in the NFL again, those type of things. So I'm just waiting to see what can happen next. I want to see us get to that SEC championship. You know, when Coach Foreman was there, every 4 years he went to an SEC championship game. So every senior class got a chance to be a part of the SEC championship game. I like to see these guys have that same opportunity, and I hope we can get back to that very soon. I feel like they have the talent to do it now. Now it's waiting to see what we can do with these guys now.
Once again, thank you, Fred, for joining us for this VFL Ride Along Series. This episode, our first one was with Jamari Davis, former Vol, who played in, you know, early 2000s. Big thank you to Toyota again for, you know, letting us ride along in this Sequoia. Very nice ride here. Like I said, the safety sense, obviously it worked. You heard it earlier in the video. Very good, very clean drive. It's very nice, very good air conditioning. I feel nice and cool here too. But go to visit them on Parkside Drive here. Very beautiful lot. Very nice facilities they have here at the dealership. So that's Toyota Knoxville, Parkside Drive. Thank you again, Fred.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for having me. It was fun. Go Vols.